So, I want to talk about this concept of chasing emotional highs because it is something that I see is so prevalent in the self-help and self-development field and industry and coaching space. And what I've discovered, something I can tell you from my own experience, is that you'll never get to this place where you always feel fulfilled and alive and empowered and expansive, right? But there's this idea in our mind, especially when we're in the self on a self-help trip, that the goal is to like always feel that, right? And what that has created in us, unfortunately, as a culture and also individually, is this splitting off and this fragmentation where we actually don't fully meet the wholeness of our emotional spaces, the wholeness of our feelings, the wholeness of our human lived experience, right? And it leads to something of we're always needing to chase these emotional highs, and we feel unworthy or less than if we're going through a period that is maybe not filled with these emotional highs, right? By the way, look at this amazing spot I found here in Boulder, Colorado. Um, So it is absolutely key, absolutely necessary for us to release this expectation that a good, fulfilled, happy life means feeling a certain high all the time, right? Life is filled with emotional waves. And in my experience, and this is what I teach in my work, the deepest level of embodiment is actually finding a place of contentment underneath the emotional experiences that you undergo, right? And this is what deep presence really is about. When you find that space, when you connect to that space within you, that is the space of being, that is the space of presence, there's a certain quality of happiness that is not about an emotional state so much, but it is just a deeper quality of happiness that kind of is independent of whether you feel sad, whether you feel happy, whether you feel joyful, whether you feel a sense of anger. But if you are tapped into this state of presence and you live your life more and more from that, you can actually find a sense of contentment and happiness that goes beyond any emotional state and that can actually embrace the emotional state lovingly that you're experiencing. And you'll get to a place of inner embodiment where whatever arises, you'll begin to trust it, right? There isn't this inner conflict of, oh, I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling something that I don't want to feel. Let me try to fix that. Let me try to change that. Let me try to push that away. Let me try to make it different, right? But actually, what happens in you is this natural care for inclusion of all aspects and experiences within you, and there's going to be curiosity, but there's mostly going to be love and embrace, right? You love the visitors of emotions that meet you, that come to you. And when you learn to really do that, and when your mind isn't rooted in this belief of, oh, if something's not feeling good, something is wrong, I need to find more alignment, more connection, and all of that stuff that can be so compartmentalizing. But when you find deeper connection to a sense of stillness and inner peace that is beyond your emotional seasons, because there's seasons that we go through, right? And if you find deeper trust in that beingness and find trust in the sense that life is always providing you with the very emotions and experiences and circumstances that you're needing in your life right now, it creates a profound sense of peace. And that peace is felt in the way that you lead and live your life. There's a sense of deep presence and wholeness that you emanate in your energy when you're not in this kind of inner conflict and tension all the time, when you're not feeling the way that you want to feel. And when you can surrender to, oh, there's going to be different emotional seasons that I go through, there's going to be different emotional periods that I go through, but you become less and less anxious about them. You're not trying to avoid them. When they arise, they're like a wave in the ocean. The wave is going to move and it's going to come to the shore and then it's going to fade, right? And that way of life, that way of being, in my experience and my lived experience, is the highest path of transformation that you can reach, because So much of the personal development that you see out there that is trying to sell you something, that is trying to market you something, is so often speaking to this pain in you and giving you solutions to fix that pain. And then our mind, right, goes, oh, I need that, I need to get away from this place, where the deeper healing, the deeper transformation is actually in meeting where you are with so much reverence and love and deep trust that this is what's meant to come through right now. This is what's meant to be here right now. But our society, our culture has glorified anything that's more, right? Success, more happiness, more joy, more empowerment, more that. And paradoxically, ironically, the more you actually make peace with the whole range of your emotions, a whole range of experiences, you stay authentic to what is here. Over time, it's interesting. This is what I've observed in my life. Joy more and more naturally bursts and arises within you without you even trying to get there. Happiness more and more naturally arises within you without you trying to get there. A deep sense of peace is naturally there. Moments of laughter and humor and embracing the silliness of life are naturally there because you're not trying to make this moment into a different moment. You are not living with an agenda of always making something better or different, which is actually a deeper resistance to life and trusting life fully. And so, this is the message that I wanted to share with you today. The deepest level of embodiment that you can uh, access in yourself, and especially I feel high achievers sometimes struggle with this, is learning to really meet yourself in this moment, learning to embrace yourself in this moment, and making peace with what is there without always trying to make it different. And that is a deeper surrender that requires you to relinquish a part of your ego that lives and feeds off this idea of always making something different and more, because it can never rest into the peace and presence that you are. And this is why this state of living, this state of being, is beyond your ego, because your ego cannot relax into it. Only your soul can relax into it. Only your deepest nature knows what I'm talking about here. Your ego will never agree with this, because your ego only feeds and lives and survives of always chasing something different that is not here. And so I wanted to share this with you. Perhaps it can be helpful, a helpful inquiry within yourself to sit with that.